This is The Wire for 2300 Zulu, January 20th, 2025. Precedence is routine. Information cutoff is 2200. Bottom line up front. Donald Trump inaugurated as America's 47th president. Mass deportation operations currently being planned, expected to enter operational phase imminently. The United States designates cartel groups as foreign terrorist organizations. Beginning with international events. In Panama, following President Trump's speech committing a return of the Panama Canal to American control, Panamanian President Mulino has rejected all of Trump's aspirations and committed to the canal remaining in the control of Panama. Analysts comment. Per the Trade Promotion Agreement, the U.S. funds roughly 19% of Panama's entire GDP and over 50% of all trade and services. On the home front, in Illinois, significant efforts are underway to prevent the carrying out of deportation operations by federal authorities. Over the weekend, alleged plans to carry out mass deportation operations were leaked to the press, resulting in Governor Pritzker actively taking measures to aid and abet illegals in avoiding deportation. Following the leak, Governor Pritzker's office has provided training materials, legal advice and services, and significant other resources to protect illegals from deportation. Following this development, Border Czar Tom Homan voiced concern with the leak, but also stated that he was not sure as to why the focus was placed on Chicago specifically, as his deportation plans are more broad than just Chicago. In Washington, D.C., Inauguration Day events proceeded without much incident, with President Trump and Vice President Vance being sworn in during a closed ceremony in the Capitol Rotunda. Overnight, the last-minute actions by the outgoing Biden regime have resulted in controversy as the White House issued last-minute pardons and acts of clemency. Anthony Fauci, the entire J6 committee, and most of those who testified in support of that endeavor, General Mark Milley, and many other highly controversial individuals were pardoned overnight. This morning, a few minutes before President Trump was sworn in, the White House issued pardons for most of the Biden family. Analysts comment. Much like the highly controversial pardoning of Hunter Biden, the pardons of the Biden family go back to any and all crimes committed since 2014. In Texas, following the transfer of power in Washington, the official port of entry in El Paso has been closed. This afternoon, the CPB One app used by illegal immigrants to gain easy access to the United States illegally was shut down. In Arizona, yesterday afternoon, the Cochise County Sheriff's Office released details of a series of arrests that were made last week. 4 individuals, including 2 asylum seekers, were arrested on unknown charges after a traffic stop on I-10 that revealed over 10,000 rounds of 50 caliber BMG and almost 20,000 7.62x39 small arms rounds. Analysts comment. Though the details of the initial traffic stop and subsequent arrests are not entirely clear, and the possession of this ammunition is usually legal in the United States, transporting this much firepower at once is highly suspicious, leading many to assess that this is likely related to cartel activity. In turn, this has led to concerns becoming more solidified with regards to the potential use of larger crew-served weapons by cartels in the United States. In Vermont, a Customs and Border Patrol agent was shot and killed by an illegal alien on Interstate 91 near mile marker 168 while conducting a traffic stop this afternoon. Analysts comment. As of this report, this is a developing situation with follow-on details expected later. In California, aid efforts continue as wildfire risks remain high. Weather forecasts continue to call for increased winds throughout the region over the next few days. Analyst comments for this wire. The presidential pardons issued overnight are a novel experiment in American politics, as the White House has set the precedent for pardoning individuals who have not been charged with a crime. These preemptive pardons, to include pardoning sitting members of Congress, is a legal oddity that will undoubtedly be scrutinized for years to come. More immediately, this will probably tie up investigations into the crimes these individuals committed. Additionally, despite the wording of the announcement of these pardons on the White House website, historically speaking, presidential pardons are usually required to be accepted on the part of the recipient, which in turn requires an admission of guilt as indicated by the precedent of the 1925 Burdick versus the United States case. However, since this detail normally is irrelevant anyway, as all criminals who are pardoned are indeed guilty of the crime by being convicted, it's not clear how a preemptive pardon might be treated legally. In any case, presidential pardon power does not usually apply with regards to state-level charges. Concerning the border situation, President Trump announced that various cartel groups will be designated as foreign terrorist organizations or FTOs. This is a major development that almost certainly will result in increased hostilities throughout many American cities where cartels have been allowed to occupy key terrain. As such, over the next few weeks, increased violence is expected to be carried out by various cartels who seek to protect many decades of work in building their empires within the United States. This concludes The Wire for 2300 Zulu, January 20th, 2025.